Hi guys, and welcome to our webinar. This is CLIQ company. My name is Olga. Let me remind you that our webinar is interactive, so if you have some questions or you feel that something is not clear and quite understandable, you can ask us questions in the section comments. Our team will answer them within the webinar. So today we are going to talk about the 3 most powerful life hacks for you to become a very successful trader also. We're going to talk and discuss the magic of the beginning of the month and the significance of the opening of the London Stock Exchange and European trading session. Also, we will talk a little bit about the Pacific trading session, which is very little said about it, but has very significant importance and can't be overestimated. So, probably every trader in his or investors during his career or her career was caught in so-called market bubble. But this is the only one of many phases of the markets. In order not to fall into this trap again in the future, it's necessary to understand the laws of the markets, understand the features, and to be able to analyze the further and future price movement. If you have skills in technical analysis or certain knowledge about this, you can timely recognize the appearance of bubbles, and not only to avoid them, but also can earn money even or when you see this situation is coming. Our whole life is full of circles, and the experience of many years shows us that market, forex markets or stock market, whatever market, is no exception. At first it grows, then it reaches a certain peak point, then it forms a base. After the completion of this circle, this pattern, new stage begins, and so on, and so on, and so on. The problem of many market participants is that they do not recognize this pattern, or they actually don't take it into account at all. One of the laws of the market, the history repeats itself, and to keep it in mind is very important. If, of course, a trader is willing to increase his profit and reduce his risks. So today I want to tell you about a tip that will increase your profit, definitely increase your profits. It is the following. The market always grows at the beginning of the month. As you know, the forex market emerged only a little more than 40 years ago, but you can also analyze price movement on the history of the stock market. And the stock market has a certain tendency to reach its maximum levels during the last trading days of the current month and during the first 2 to 4 trading days of the next month. In fact, the rise of the price during the favorable 4 or 5 trading days at the end and at the beginning of the month, and the profit accumulated or got for this period is usually equal to the income for the rest of the month. There are obvious bullish deviations during the periods of favorable monthly seasonality, which include the days in the beginning and in the end of the month. But also, it is necessary to take into account the yearly seasonality. Positive fluctuation means that price is rising, are the most consistent in the strongest months, which are from November to January. Actually, these are considered to be the strongest months of the year. July, September, and October, on the contrary, are usually the weakest months. October is most suitable for accumulation of the position, and it's also characterized as a waiting period. The positive fluctuations are present rather as the pullbacks of the long-term bear markets. Want to make sure, want to actually see it for yourself? Let's look at it together. Okay, so here it is. We have the beginning of January, and as you can see, this line shows the beginning of the year. As you can see, the market is very active. You see the certain momentum of the market. The activity is very high at the beginning. Next month, what we can see, the market is rising also. Next month, yeah, it's a little bit of flat note, but look, market rises again. Okay, let's take another example. Here it is, as I mentioned, at the end of the previous and a little bit of flat note at the beginning. This is classics. The market is rising at the end of the month and it continues to rise at the beginning of the next one. You can see all these examples proves this rule. So it's really very important life hack. So this is the end of the month. We can see the market was falling, rising, and at the beginning it rises again. Next month, market is rising after very strong fall. And then, yes, it's a flat note. So this is how it works. It's really amazing. Okay, let's go on. Next, what I want to share with you is, let's talk about London Stock Exchange. The significance of the opening of the London Stock Exchange cannot be overestimated. Sometimes, not all the traders think about the particular day or particular time of the day when to enter the markets. Often most beginners trade in the mood, when they wake up, when they want, without any regard for the existence of such a valuable resource as time. When we say time, in our case, we mean trading sessions. There are only 4 of them, but you remember that the best time for trading, the most active one, is the European session, and the opening of which takes place at 12 o'clock of the Dubai local time. It's GMT +4. In fact, the activity of the European session is connected with the opening of the London Stock Exchange. Why? Because London is the largest and the most important dealing center in the world. And the volume of trading on stocks and shares in London, according to the Bank of International Settlements, is more than 30% in the world, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little bit less than a quarter. Most of the trading terminals of major banks are also located in London due to the high liquidity and efficiency of the markets. And a lot of investors, because of that, prefer to trade during the hours of European session. A large number of participants and significant volumes, as you could see, are transactions make the London currency market the most volatile of all. Trading systems used by traders in financial markets are always based on some conditions. For example, some methods of trading are designed to work with certain assets. The others can be used effectively only at a specific time of the day. How to make money at the opening of the London Stock Exchange. We talked about it in detail at our last webinar. If you want to refresh your memory, or maybe somebody has joined us for the first time, you can go to our website and choose the previous webinar. So we'll remind you very shortly. Number 1, the most powerful instruments for trading is EUR/USD and GBP/USD. So use these currency pairs. Second, in order to minimize the time required for trading, it's better to use pending orders. And I would like to show it in the history also very shortly. Okay, we take GBP/USD, and this vertical red line shows us the beginning of trading session. It starts at 12 o'clock. It's Dubai local time. Of course, in England it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you have to be careful when you make the setting on your terminal, because the time can be different. So as you can see, within the first hours or minutes, even minutes, the market was very active. Yes, it went down and went up, but the activity was very high. Next day, 12 o'clock. Here it is. During the very short period of time, you can earn money because the market is very active. You don't have to sit in front of your terminal for a long time. Just take 15 minutes break before the London Stock Exchange opens, and here we go. Well, we have the activity of the market. You see very strong downward movement. Downward movement, again, a little bit pullback, but downward movement, very strong again. Here it is, market is active. Here it is, market is very active. It was the period when GBP was not so popular, so we see a lot of downward movements. But here it is, the market is rising, so GBP becomes more popular these days. And here it is, market rises again soon after, or as soon as the London Stock Exchange opens. Next activity, see the market very active here. So now you know the starting point where to make lots of money instead of sitting in front of your terminal for a long time. Okay, so let's continue. And now let's talk about the importance, the significance of the opening of the London Stock Exchange. We have already mentioned it, but international financial centers. Okay, so international financial centers, so here it is, I will use abbreviation IFCS, okay, so not to talk it for a long time. So the Pacific session, as you know, is very calm and low volatile one, which makes it not so popular among the traders because the market literally falls asleep. And the most traders refuse to take active action, so enter the market, open long positions or short position, doesn't matter, during this time. But there are some things which are very little said about, but they're of great importance. And today I want to share my observations which can and should be implemented in the process of your trading. And also they should be taken into account when forming a set of financial tools, your financial tool, trading plan and trading algorithm. In the last quarter of 20th century and at the beginning of the 21st, there has been a tendency to increase the concentration of financial transactions or trades within international and regional financial centers. Some of them are traditional financial centers, as they are, and some of them are relatively young ones. Global financial leaders are the heads of IFCS, this is International Financial Centers, in London and New York, and leading financial centers with a global financial rent form and implement the strategy for the development of global financial system, and in general, ladies and gentlemen, we can say that actually they rebuild the world of financial system. One of the trends in the globalization of world's economy is the growing influence of IFCS in developing countries. The Asian IFCS, Hong Kong, Dubai, etc. are beginning to play an increasingly important role. The competition between the old financial centers and new ones is intensifying. One of the effective means of the competition between them is mergers and acquisitions, that is the creation of financial strategic alliances in the sphere of world finance. And let's talk about Dubai International Financial Center. The abbreviation for the shorter or more conveniently will be DIFS. So, the establishment of Dubai Financial Center, DIFS, capable of filling the gap in the time zones not covered by IFS between London and Hong Kong, was announced in 2002. DIFS is the modern financial structure of global importance, providing a stable and secure platform for business and financial institutions. Analysts believe that in the near future, the Arab Emirates will become a financial center of global importance, uniting a vast region including North and East Africa, Hindustan, South Asia, the countries of the Persian Gulf, and Caspian. The international recognized and independent regulation of the center, the common law framework, the tax-favorable conditions, the enabling environment make the ideal center ready for the rapidly growing demand of financial and business services. DIFS fills the difference in the time zone, which I have already mentioned. It's very important because it was really a gap. And because of that, we come to some conclusions that Pacific session becomes more important. So guided by its core values of integrity, transparency, and efficiency, the center continues to play a key role in the meeting of regions' growing financial needs. This region, populated by more than 2 billion people, has a combined economy of almost 2 trillion of US dollars. Annually, this indicator grows by no less than 5%. United Arab Emirates has become a means of attracting investors from abroad to the country's markets, and in the near future, this will increase regional demand to create a basis for competition in lending. DIFS can be considered as a formed stock market, which focused its effort in several financial spheres. What are they? Number one is banking services. In the pre-economic zone of DIFS, corporate, private, and investment banking is developing. Number two, stock markets. The financial sector is actively working with shares, securities, secondary securities, debt obligations, and also trading goods. Number three, asset management. Number four, registration of funds. Number five, financial risks and insurance. Number six, finance of the Islamic, wealth, and additional services like International Financial Center. It's like the largest exchange for the Islamic bonds and obligations and shares. They are actually alternative type of investment certificates. Transactions of all financial operations are carried out in accordance with the laws adopted in the leading countries of the world. Full transparency guarantees the financial security of the partners, and the American dollar is used as the main currency in this country. By the way, the great advantage of the free economic zone of DIFS in Dubai is the relevance of the applicable law, developed on the basis of not Sharia, but the British law. According to the most experts, this experience of the Emirates can lead to the greater inflow of the capital. So what are the privileges or advantages of DIFC members? Membership in the International Financial Center is not only prestigious, but also beneficial for financial institutions and companies, and it provides them with significant privileges like 100% rights to foreign property, exemption from taxes on income and profits, and the right to unlimited operations with the foreign currency, and the ability to use all the types of operational support and infrastructure of the center, which is, let me tell you, at the highest level. Currently, the community includes more than 800 of financial companies, insurance companies, banks, and also fund and asset managers, all the companies. So why does DIFS become a zone of interest for investors and changes the trading benchmarks in general? DIFS has the status of the offshore zone with beneficial taxation and having jurisdiction independent from the UAE and its own civil and economic legislation, its own court and arbitration. The main goal of the creation of DIFC is further diversification of the economy from the oil sector, creation of favorable conditions for the privatization suggested by the government of the UAE in water, energy, and transport sectors of the country. Historically, the appearance of financial center was associated with the concentration of the capital in large cities. Earlier, the development came to New York, London, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Switzerland, etc. And since the 1970s, the UAE has been actively involved in this process. The difference of the young financial centers lies in the deliberate inflow of the capital and the financial instruments to use the attracted or accumulated capital. The growth of the investment causes the counteroffer of new financial instruments for the UAE, given the religion and the inclination to work only with actual material financial instruments, which are the raw materials like oil, silver, gold, etc. Naturally, investors do not prefer trading currency. That is why during the seemingly calm Pacific trading session, there is activity in the financial markets to To be more precise, commodity markets become liquid. What else needs to be mentioned? Is the movement of the currencies which are associated with the raw materials. These are two very popular currencies. It's Australian and New Zealand dollar. As a rule, the macroeconomic indicators that most traders use affect the exchange rate in the moment. Then the analysis of raw materials determines the trend. So let's summarize. What are three the most important life hacks that you can imply? Number one, the market would always grow at the beginning of the month. You can use this to open new positions or adjust the current ones. Number two, in 15 minutes, you can earn money at the opening of London Stock Exchange, and while this period, the market is always active. Number three, trade when everyone is sleeping. Taking into account the impact of the financial centers, include raw materials and commodity currencies, currency pairs into a tradable instrument, you will definitely get profits. And I hope all this information given at this webinar was important and will be important to you and useful to you. And the main thing is to put it all into practice. And we wish you very, very successful trading and excellent profits. And of course, if you want to know more about trading nuances or trading tricks, you can visit the site of CLIQ and sign up for the education course that suits you most of all. From our side, we appreciate that you stay with us and you stay in touch and continue to do so. It was CLIQ. Wish you a successful trading again. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.